First, I want to welcome you all to the Lansing Family Farmhouse. My name is Clarence. I'll be your tour guide. As we go through the tour, I'll give you a lot of information. But at the end of the tour, if you have any questions that I maybe didn't answer, be sure to ask them. Now, the house has been reset to resemble what it looked like back in 1988 when the Quincelos lived here, with a mixture of a few added touches. An example of that is this lantern-type lamp that you see over the table. If you remember, it was located the same place in the movie. Also, you see the pot and pan holder here, located in the same place as it was in the movie, also right above the countertop next to the TV. And right here we have this Kelvinator stove. This is a 1950s model Kelvinator stove that Universal Studios brought in here just specifically for the movie. You can see the warming oven on the left, regular oven on the right, big bottom storage door, the overall width of it. Believe me, it's a very heavy stove. When Universal Studios set crew brought it in here, it took several guys just to get it in here and all hooked up. Now right up above here you see the open pantry style cabinets with no doors on them, just the same way they were in the movie. Now the kitchen here was the setting for several different scenes in the movie, one of which I'm going to bring up, and maybe you will remember. It's where Annie was making breakfast one morning. Her daughter Karen is watching the movie Harvey with Jimmy Stewart. I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with the movie Harvey. If you aren't, Harvey's this 6-foot-tall invisible rabbit that only Jimmy Stewart could see and talk to in the movie. That's actually symbolic with the movie The Theater of Dreams, in that the Quincelos were the only ones who could see and talk to Shooters Joe Jackson during most of the movie. So a little bit of symbolism there. Here's a little bit of movie trivia for you. Did you know Jimmy Stewart was offered a role in the movie The Theater of Dreams? No. He was offered a part of the older version of Moonlight Graham. He didn't turn it down. He wasn't feeling very good at the time. Burt Lancaster then took that part on. Karen's name, the little girl, was Gabriella Huckman. They called her Gabby for short. She was 6 years old when she was in the movie. She's 36 years old now, going on 37. She did go on to be involved in a lot of movies and plays after the movie The Theater of Dreams, and did receive nominations for awards for some that she was in. Here's a little sidebar on Gabby. Do you all remember when she fell off the bleachers in it? Yeah. Did you know they had to do that scene 5 different takes? Every time she went to fall off there, Doc Graham would come over, sit her up, tap her in the back. This odd jet hot dog. Well, every time he went to tap her on the back was every time she got a case of the giggles from that. 4 times she had a case of the giggles. Finally, on the 5th time, she got it squared away. But she was only 6 years old at the time. First full-length feature movie she'd ever been in. She did a good job for it. We have wobbleheads of different players that were here for what's called the Team of Dreams event here. We have also one of Bud Selig, who was in the Commissioner of Baseball at that time. An autographed ball by Bud as well. On the very bottom right-hand side, there's a ball autographed by James Earl Jones. You all remember him as Terrence Mann in the movie right there. And the other balls are autographed by Hall of Fame players and Ghost players, both of which I'll talk about a little bit later on. Of course, in this middle section, I have to show you this. We have this Gothic plate. It says, "Is this heaven?" No, it's Iowa. Being from Iowa, I have to show you that, right? The stairwell here, that was the setting for the scene, and maybe you will recall, this where Annie comes back down the steps, looks at Ray. They realize they both had the same dream of Ray being at Fenway Park, eating that hot dog along the first baseline. Once they both realize that, next scene you see Ray headed down the highway in that Volkswagen bus, starting a project that becomes The Theater of Dreams. Now this room isn't showing a whole lot in the movie, but it is where Ray goes overlooks out the windows and she was Joe Jackson on the ball field for the very first time. Now I want to go into a little bit of detail for you about how this house and home was selected for the movie. Back in 1988, when Universal was looking to make the movie, they had certain requirements they wanted the farm and a farmhouse to be. So they recruited a lady named Sue Rydell from the Duke area, 20 minutes to the east of here. She was actually a volunteer for the Iowa Film Office and managed Bell Tower Theater. She didn't do. She had a pretty good knowledge of movies. They had her come out, scout this Midwest, try to find a farm like what Universal wanted. So what did they want? Just a typical old 2-story farmhouse with that classic white clapboard siding. That's what 95% of the farmhouses were anyway. But what they didn't want was nothing commercial. No big silos, no big corn crib. They wanted just a small farm for Ray, Karen, and Annie. But they did want it big enough to accommodate a ball field, of course. They wanted that western exposure for the sunset silhouette scene they did in the movie, and they also wanted a long lane coming down into the farm. Anybody know why they might have wanted that long lane?
For the last scene?
Yes, for all those cars in that final scene. Excuse me. So when Sue Rydell spotted this farm, she thought this looks a lot like what they want. She came down and talked to Don Lansing, then owner. He let her take a lot of photos of the farm. She sent them all into Universal Studios. But they had to compete with photos from all over the Midwest. Universal Studios looked at over 100 different photos. In the end, this quaint little farm operation was picked. They had Don Lansing move into a little trailer house they put way up in the corner of his property. That's where he lived for the next 20 weeks while they got this house ready for filming and did the actual filming itself. Now, if any of you are familiar with old farmhouses, they didn't have railing systems like this. There was a wall on that side, a wall on this side, a partition through there, a partition across there, one up through here. A lot of farmhouses had lots of small rooms and a lot of partition. But Universal Studios wanted angle shots, distance shots. They took all those partitions out. Now, Don Lansing had the option where they could put them back in for him if he wanted them after the filming was done. But when he got in here looking how nice and open this was, he told the movie people, I kind of like it that way. And believe me, the movie people liked it. He liked it that way. They didn't have to put one single petition in the house. I all remember the car scene at the end of the movie. 1,200 plus cars in that final scene. They ran all the way east to a town called 45 miles away, all the way to the west of the Dyersville, east road, clear back into Dyersville. Now you got to wonder, in that final scene when they're setting that up, how would they communicate with 1,200 plus car drivers if they wanted to move forward or if they wanted to back up? They didn't have cell phones back then. They got a hold of the local radio station, had to take all the broadcasting off the air for that station, had all 1,200 drivers tuned to that radio station. They gave the direction right over the air. Touching that dial on that radio, your instructions are right there. Now that was a nice scene shot over with a helicopter. Remember all the cars coming down the lane with their lights on? Did you know that 95% of those cars, all the ones going to Farley, all the ones going this way to Dyersville, with the exception of the ones coming down the lane, those cars weren't moving at all. Just blinking their lights on and off and going from high beam to low beam to make you think they were moving forward.
Fox. There's no crying in calculus.